Alright, today I want to play Trolley Problem Inc., which everyone knows Trolley Problem. You got five people on one track, one person on another. Who do you save? And the game's about ethics. The game will treat you like an asshole whatever you pick, because you're always wrong according to the game. But we'll see, and I'll explain my choices. If I can. I didn't notice co-op mode, but okay. Solo.
The following game contains adult themes. It does not contain explicit language, sexual content, horror, or show violence. Choices matter, so please take your time. Player discretion is still advised. Please sign your name below, showing you understand and agree to endorse every decision. That's rude.
My cursive is amazing. And the game called me rude because I cut her off.
Actions speak louder than words. Welcome to Trolley Problem Inc., founded to help people travel
full screen on me. It's supposed to be.
All our employees must show 3 core values: responsibility, integrity, and respect. With that in mind, let's start your training. There's a runaway trolley barreling down the railway tracks. On the tracks are 5 people unable to move. You're next to a lever. If you pull this lever, the trolley will switch to a different set of tracks. However, you notice there is a person on the other track.
Now, in my mind, you pull the lever because it's the lesser loss of life. But also, then you accept blame at that point for pulling the lever and killing somebody. If you do nothing, you can put the blame off and say it depends whether or not you consider the apathy of not doing anything
the more people who die,
more guilty or not. Like, does me not changing what happened make me a bad person?
Usually we don't expect candidates to kill someone on their first day, but we'll give you the benefit of the doubt on this one. Just think a little more before acting next time.
And then it tells you how many people made your decision, what they think that made the game.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This test will focus on the first principle, responsibility. Here's Polly. She's 5 years old. While she loves to play in the sand with her dolls, she dreams of looking after the world. Polly's destiny is to grow up to be a great doctor. More of us should take a leaf out of her book. A trolley is heading towards another 5 people. You're next to a lever. If you pull this lever, the trolley will derail and descend down a hill heading for the park's sandpit. You notice that
Sorry, Polly.
in the sandpit.
Same argument as the last one, but destiny is not a thing. That's irrelevant. When she grows up, she can say no, fuck destiny, and just not be a doctor or not be whatever the fuck she wants. No, but it's what it is. Like, it makes it sadder. It's a child, yes, but it's 5 versus 1 still. And again, I would look at that as I'm not doing anything. I'm allowing 5 people to die, rather than killing 1 person. So, how do you want to look at it?
That is an odd take on being responsible. The dictionary definition: to be the primary cause of something and so able to be blamed or credited for it. Are you to blame for the death of a young girl? In this instance, yes, I was. The means.
Not always, but we'll see what it says.
The key to this test is integrity. This is Tyrone. He is a 30-year-old secretary at a law firm who enjoys binge-watching crime shows. Tyrone is a very large man. You don't really know anything else about him, apart from the fact that he has a severe phobia of trains.
So are we about to hit Tyrone with the train? Let's find out.
Now we're upping the ante. You are on a bridge with Tyrone, watching a trolley speeding towards 5 people again. You can only stop it by deliberately pushing Tyrone off the bridge, blocking its path. Do you push Tyrone off the bridge?
So same argument, but now you're actively committing the murder. Which again, unfortunately, sorry Tyrone, but...
Causing a man's death is different to allowing someone to die as collateral damage.
Is it? Yes, but it still is in action the same as killing them.
The cleaning company with the best reviews are Happy Cleaning Limited. Who knew one body could make so much mess? You're going to have to tip them well.
See, these people are liars. They want to murder the child, but they were found murdering tyrant. Or not murdering tyrant. It's whatever.
A cat has 9 lives. Now for the final core value, respect. It seems we've run out of resources to continue your testing. I'm going to need you to go and grab some mannequins. You will need to take the next trolley, so don't get distracted by that dog. The trolley leaves in 1 minute. There is a dying dog down on the tracks. No trolleys will use that line today, so the dog will not be hit. You're in a rush. Do you kill the dog, putting it out of its misery, or leave it to die, cold and alone?
Now, see, that's rough. In reality, I would call animal control or somebody. I'm personally not going to have the strength to kill the dog. Killing the dog is the moral correct thing to do. Put it out of its misery so it doesn't suffer. But I, as a person, would not be able to do that. I would have to call animal control or whoever. So I would unfortunately leave it to die. If I had the strength to do it, killing it would be the correct answer. But we're going to go with what I would personally, in this position, end up having to do.
When you respect something, you're meant to care about its feelings and wishes. Instead, you just left it there to die.
I don't know how we saved the dog. Maybe there was an option. Because, I mean, I would say I've been a bit late for whatever the fuck I was going to. I'd be like, no. But, okay.
Oh, great. I've just heard those kids are back. They keep sneaking down onto the tracks. With all the training from this week, you should be able to decide a straightforward outcome for these reprobates. Just remember, respect, responsibility, and integrity. 5 trespassers have snuck down onto the trolley line even though signs warn them of the dangers. The trolley is currently heading for a co-worker. Do you let your co-worker die or sacrifice the delinquents?
Unfortunately, in this instance, you let your coworker die. They're delinquents and they're bad, but they're kids. Kids can hopefully learn and grow.
If the trespassers weren't there, you would change the path, right?
Yes, there needs to be consequences for your actions, but you're not going to kill 5 children just because they were trespassing somewhere. Like, that's a minor crime. They're not going to jail for it, most likely.
All right, then I guess your results for the first week are in. I'll run these up the flagpole and see what the suits upstairs think. Dear Sir or Madam, we have been following your exemplar practice this week at Trolley Problem Inc. and would like to thank you for your hard work, especially when some challenging decisions had to be made. We would like to invite you to take employment at the Trolley Health Corporation, THC. This is a prestigious position and was created to help keep the public safe through all walks of life. The best laid plans go astray.
All the time.
It looks like you've impressed someone upstairs with last week's answers. You've been transferred to the Trolley Health Corporation, THC. THC is stoic, focusing more on justice, temperance, courage, and wisdom. We'll start with... Today, you'll be in A&E. A young male has come in from a car accident and urgently needs a heart transplant. There's only one in the hospital, and this heart is scheduled to be given to an elderly man waiting upstairs.
Given American healthcare,
die without it.
It would probably go to the elderly man just because he's already scheduled. I would give it to the young man because whatever circumstances,
in a year or 2, we can probably get the heart back off this old boy.
He's going to live longer than the old guy. The old guy is going to die soon either way.
News just
There's no point in wasting a heart
alcohol in his
on
blood.
that.
Was he driving?
Irrelevant. That's not your concern as a hospital person. It's not which life is more worthy, it's which life
You made an
is
excellent
going to put
choice.
more
Well
use to the heart.
done. The elderly man deserved that heart much more. Oh. Oh, wait. Did you save the young guy? Oh. You can't win them all. You're late. The hospital is rammed. Every staff member has their hands full, so you're going to have to go out on the ward and help the sick, gross, decaying people. Remember, temperance. Restrain yourself and think it through. A patient has begged to be euthanized. Euthanasia is currently illegal. You will have to be the one who gives the lethal dose. You will need to look into their eyes and end their life. What do you do?
Assisted suicide should be perfectly legal. If someone is dying and is living in pain and wants to die, they should be allowed to do so.
Did you know 90% of suicide survivors regret attempting it? Sounds pretty similar. What if they're undercover? This could be a sting operation.
What I said stands. The right to die is a thing and should be a thing.
Oh, wow. You actually did it. I thought you would have learnt not to kill people by now.
Need a fancy treasure chest. Yeah. Oh, how nice.
Be slow in choosing, but slower in changing. The last few days have been tough. It was only a week ago you were on the trolleys. Today should be easier. You have a choice to make which some people would see as a good problem to have. It's just going to take courage. You have 5 patients. Each needs a different organ, but no organs are available. A healthy young traveller comes in for a routine checkup. Their organs are compatible with all 5 dying patients. Do you kill the tourist and use their organs to save the 5 in desperate need? That's 1 life for 5.
Now the wording is the same as the
No way
trolley
to
problem.
chug ayahuasca and get a culturally
It is
appropriated
different
tribal
because
tattoo. He's getting away. Don't you want to
you're
save
murdering
the
someone
many?
to benefit the
Is
other
his
5 people.
life worth it?
The other 5 people may die because you let this person go. Medically speaking, that's more ethical though. Like in the trolley problem, you didn't set the guy on the trolley, you just chose which path it was going to take.
People die today. You probably should have looked into their backgrounds. Looks like one was researching into improving vaccines. Hopefully that won't be an issue down the road. You can't make an omelette without breaking eggs. You have been promoted yet again. You now run the hospital. You've been asked to roll out a new vaccine in Central City. This vaccine will stop a large number of children from becoming severely ill, but you'll need to deal with their parents. We need your word. Do you start a mandatory vaccination program among children to stop this endemic? Slight problem. Clinical trial data suggest the vaccine will make 1 in 5 children severely ill, much worse than the virus itself.
Now, vaccination, I'm 100% for. Anti-vaxxers are idiots. People should be vaccinated.
Don't tell me you're in charge
However,
of the hospital and
this vaccine would not get passed. 20% is entirely too much of people to get sick worse than the virus.
How did you answer the
If the virus is, assuming this is like COVID, not necessarily killing people and that kind of stuff. People should 100% be vaccinated, but we're not going to kill or make severely ill 20% of the patients because of that.
Well, you've definitely made a name for yourself. Next, you'll be telling me you believe in healing crystals, coloured auras, and ghosts.
Yes, ill children, not extremely ill or dead children. Alright, what's 20% of 5,000? 1,000. So we would have had 1,000 very ill, possibly about to die children. 4,000 just ill children. Or 4,000 not ill children, excuse me. It's not worth possibly killing 20% of your patients or making them extremely sick. Just to let it go. Like, that vaccine would
Beggars
not have been
can't be
passed.
choosers. Your hospital is getting noticed. You're now going to have to make some big decisions. They will affect a lot of people. While choosing, always keep in mind justice, temperance.
Yeah,
Will
we don't
you
need to read the
try to
rest.
develop breakthrough medicines for the...
Why
While testing,
did you switch me?
placebos will be given to thousands of ill patients. Without proper treatment, some will die today in the hope you could make a breakthrough tomorrow. Do you start the research or continue treating patients
No,
as
because there's
usual?
2 different people doing this job. You treat the patients because
You're
they're
doing the right thing.
your patients
Who
right
needs
now.
new
You keep them
medicines
treated.
anyway?
Yes, you would eventually make new medicines, but you have to deal with the immediate problem in a medical setting
What are
first
the forethought?
before you deal with future possible
Bile,
problems.
phlegm,
I'm
blood.
sorry the sound cuts out sometimes. The game likes to switch from full screen to not full screen sometimes for no reason, apparently.
Treating the patients is a smart move. Let's just let someone else develop the new medicines. I mean, I'm sure someone will want to at some point.
I mean, they're 100% different positions in real life, so that's what I'm going with. In a medical setting, if somebody comes in the ER fucking bleeding out of their ass or what the hell ever, you're not going to say, well, what can we develop to prevent this problem? We're going to say, let's fix this problem now and we'll work on that later. Plain and simple.
Dear insert_name, congratulations. This letter is to certify that I have examined your work and believe you to be a perfect fit to fill the open position here in our Artificial Intelligence Division. In this role, you will help to develop the next generation of driverless cars.
Dystopian hellscape, let's go.
Breeds contempt. Well, la-di-da, another promotion. You're now in charge of a private self-driving automotive division, SAD. First things first, your artificial intelligence needs some direction.
Very sad.
A self-driving car is travelling along a single-lane mountain road and is fast approaching a narrow tunnel. The car has 2 passengers. A child runs across the road but trips, blocking the tunnel entrance. Should the AI car hit and kill the child,
The AI car should be able to
swerve off
brake
the
and
cliff,
not do this.
killing both passengers?
But we're unfortunately going to kill the child.
That child has as much right to live as anyone else.
It does. But the car should be able to brake sooner. And it's 2 versus 1, unfortunately.
You put this car on the road, do you not feel responsible for their death?
Yeah, the company would be, and the company would get sued. And either way, they're going to have to make changes to the AI of the car because the car should, again, know what fuck brakes are.
There is a bigger issue here. How does the computer know that something in the road is human? Do we have good enough data sets? Currently, a lot of AI only recognizes white men.
I don't know if that's 100% true, but I know that there is issues with recognizing like black men and a couple other races, like the AI cameras that the government uses and this kind of stuff. Like, it doesn't differentiate facial features as well with people who aren't white.
Necessity is the mother of invention. Ooh, someone's in trouble. The investors didn't like your last answer. They're also pissed because you brought up the dataset thing. This AI stuff
And
is
that's the other
hard.
problem in the world. Either way,
I'm
it comes
rooting
down to
for you
money
this time.
and investors, of course. Because, we
need
live
to
in a capitalist
choose how you
hellscape.
want to carry on developing the car's AI. Do you want to focus on a model that would always save as many lives as possible in an accident, or a system that would save our passengers at any cost?
The money man want this answer. The real answer is this one.
Will people buy cars that will kill them?
No, but you shouldn't be selling those cars in the first place. Like, this, it shouldn't even get to this point.
Well, hopefully people don't mind dying for total strangers. I will say it again. Current datasets discriminate against minorities and women.
Yes.
How can it work this out if it doesn't deem black women to be people? Honesty is the best policy.
It's an excellent question, unfortunately true.
The technology these cars have in them is amazing. We know where everyone is at all times. Passengers just have to use an app to call them, and the closest one will be there in minutes. You can even make small talk with the AI while travelling. It's always listening. A man is on trial. Police believe he committed murder. Allegedly, the AI's mic recorded a private conversation where the man confesses. Users don't know it's always recording. The defendant has denied access to their files. Do you bypass security and invade their privacy?
Now, I'm all for justice and security.
You're
However,
happy to just let a potential murderer
the
walk
law
the
is the law,
streets?
and there's an expectation of privacy. Unless there was something written in, like the terms of service or some BS like that, which is questionable to begin with.
To the victims' families.
But in my opinion, yes, unfortunately, you
I have a
respect
feeling
privacy.
the investors upstairs will be happy with this.
Because there's
The
an
more
expectation
the
of
world
privacy.
values privacy, the
and-
more they can justify hiding their taxes.
True as may be. Like, do we have privacy? No. Is the government listening all the time? Absolutely. But at the same time, I mean, people go, sure, you have nothing to hide, blah, 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 whatever. That's irrelevant, whether you have something to hide or not. Simply because, under certain circumstances, there is an expectation of privacy. Unless they have direct evidence, they shouldn't be listening. To you specifically, at least.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. So the company has moved into delivery services now. They move pretty quick round here. Sounds like they've got some pretty important cargo. Good luck with the new workload. One of your cars has no passengers, but is carrying an irreplaceable prototype with the potential to end global warming. Fast approaching a narrow tunnel, once again a child runs across the road but trips. Should your AI
Parents who
kill
teach
the
kids to stay out of the
child,
fucking
it will
road.
swerve off the cliff, losing the prototype.
Now, global warming,
We must protect
unfortunately,
the
is a
world
problem.
for the children. Just not
The
this
issue
one.
is, sure, you could teach humanity to respect the
A
environment.
statue
I mean,
of them
it's
should make
most
for a
likely too
fitting
late to make enough
memorial.
changes to actually save us
In the far carbon,
as much as we should.
obviously.
But we can slow it down. And we could do things. But are people going to do that? Or are we going to keep burning oil? Or are we keep going to burn gas? Or are we going to keep doing all the bad shit we do? Yes.
We have just recovered the child's body. Someone had to go and collect it. I don't think we'll be able to make a memorial statue without a photo. There isn't much left to go on.
Or just a child murdering machine.
What goes around comes around. Well, this is embarrassing. We need some backup over at Trolley Problem Inc. Tommy, Tyrone's rotund twin, is a very large villain. I think that dead dog may have belonged to him. Maybe that's why he's here? Why didn't you save the dog again? Oh no. Tommy has lured 5 people onto the track. They'll never be able to get out of the way in time. He is standing up on the bridge watching. If you push him in front of the trolley, it will stop. Or you can stay out of this and let the police handle it. Ideally, he needs medical help. Look at him, so gleeful. I bet he knew you would be powerless to stop him. Tommy must be really getting off on this.
In reality, I would stay out of it, let the police handle it. In an ideal world, where I had the power, I'd push Tommy off the edge. But then I'd be going to jail for murder as well. So, you know.
If only you'd saved that dog. Hopefully the media won't find out about this, otherwise people might think it's all your fault
I have
they
to go
died.
back and replay at some point, figure out how we saved the fucking dog.
Every man has his price. Oh, good, you're back. Everyone's getting into subscription services these days, so let's try that. Instead of selling something to someone once, let's make them keep paying for it. Let's keep that money rolling in.
Yeah, we made cable to get rid of commercials, and then cable adopted commercials, and then we made streaming services to get rid of commercials, but then they adopted commercials, and it's just a circle.
The investors have come up with an idea, but we need to run it by you. Should we develop a subscription plan so that our customers, who pay monthly, are valued more by the car during its accident prevention calculations?
Like this question is just 100% completely unethical. You can't pay more to be valued more during an accident.
To decide how people spend their money.
Like if there was truly a monstrous question, this one is it. And we're not going to live in the capitalist hellscape where that is the thing.
I don't want to question your decision. You've obviously thought long and hard about it, but well...
I mean, in the United States at least, you're paying enough for health insurance and everything else you pay for.
Next you'll say you're going to pay the company.
That's ridiculous.
Taxes. It's better to be safe than sorry. Key workers. The subscription prototype has gotten out to the media, so we're going to have to go full damage control mode here. The subscription prototype leaked. You need to fire a department to save face. Do you fire the 5 graduates, who can probably get new jobs, or fire Francis, a lovely old soul who won't be able to find a job? There's no way of knowing who is actually responsible.
Well, then unfortunately fire the one guy because you can't fire 5 workers and just immediately expect to rehire people.
To replace them is going to be hard work.
Exactly, and word like that gets out, and people don't want to work for your company at that point. I mean, either way, they shouldn't want to work for your company because your company is a monster.
Is a widow? What a sad end to a life.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but the reality of it is that's the only business savvy decision to make.
I wouldn't look at the obituaries today. Turned out this job was everything to Francis. And I mean everything.
And that sucks for him, but unfortunately, what happens outside of the job isn't the job's responsibility, necessarily. As harsh as that sounds. And that's for any job.
Watch the donut, not the hole. Great. So, the prototype subscription-based AI car has a fatal error. It has been coded to avoid hitting subscribers at all costs, but is now
I turned the subscriber model down. Why do we have subscribers?
Down. So far, it's run over 5 colleagues. This one is an experimental car has stalked and murdered 5 colleagues. Do you throw the coders of the project under the bus and have them arrested for negligence, or do you save them by blaming it on the possessed devil car?
No, you accept the blame and you throw people in jail. You're not going to blame evil AI that doesn't exist.
From you to make such a mistake.
Yes, granted, that's exactly what it is. They did their job. They were on pressure on top of it. I mean, being on pressure isn't an excuse for fucking up your job that bad. Whether it be from higher up or what.
The 5 coders who made the mistake are now being dealt with. They will each get a 10-year prison sentence. Maybe you did push them too hard. If you're not paying for the product, then you are the product. Due to the killer car, we may need to pivot away from selling hardware. How about we get into the software industry? How about a free car ride? New idea. Users get shown ads while they travel for free in driverless taxis. We get paid by the marketing agencies for gradually changing the behaviours of our passengers through constant commercials. The users would be our product, not the driverless cars.
I mean, this is the way life
This is
works
going to
right now. You get
disrupt
the free apps and
everything
all that kind of
for
stuff.
profit.
And you make some money. Are the ads playing while they drive? That's fine. They just don't have to watch the ads. They can look on their phone or whatever the hell else.
Sign-ups and inviting friends.
Like, this is, again, just a smarter business decision. And in general. And that's really better for people.
The free travel thing seems too good to be true, and there are now rumours that you run a human trafficking and child sex ring. Apparently, if you buy our cars, they smuggle people while you sleep.
Fuck you.
People do not like you at all.
I can imagine they wouldn't like me, but also, rumors aren't real.
A fool and his money are soon parted. Oh, these last few days have been a PR nightmare. You can't win with journalists.
I'll go back whenever I finish the game and actually look at the other choices just for fun.
To get us through this. Spend it quick. To help with public relations, we're going to give some profits back. Do you want to give money to our loyal customers worldwide who you tricked into buying your products, or to your underpaid workers who've been through so much because of you?
Underpaid workers are in jail. But no, we get back to the workers because, again...
You don't get a lot each.
Yeah, you give to the workers because we sent 5 to jail.
May be seen as an insult.
Fuck them, they should be happy we're getting more money. Now, the customers are the general public. That would probably be the better answer. But
maybe
your workers aren't
buying love like this isn't the best way. If we want to share our extra profit fairly, it should probably just go to the publicly appointed government. Almost like a tax. But let's not call it that. Rome wasn't built in a day. You're trending, but now we're going to get copycats. Soon everyone is going to be developing AI. Only the smartest and most ruthless will be profitable. Is that true evolution?
No, but it's how it works in life right now.
Advertising a similar car. The difference is their AI is fantastic. It doesn't even discriminate against women or minorities. Do you lie in your advertising to get the upper hand, or tell everyone your car is still close-minded?
No, because at this point I would be arguing against my car and I'd go work for the good company. That's not that.
Poor white trash isn't really the driverless car clientele. Let me get this straight. People know we don't spend time developing our software for women or people of colour, but still use our products. That's outrageous. They only care how easy it is for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem in life.
The best things in life are free.
Not always, but sure.
Due to your technology, our world is changing. People are losing their jobs to machines, which in turn makes items and services more accessible and affordable for countless consumers. But with worldwide unemployment... Oh, okay. If you develop your AI further, many will lose their jobs. Taxi drivers, delivery men and women, and couriers
the game's
will
going
become
weird because
extinct
the AI's
within
getting mad
a
at
few
me.
years, but you will make a lot of money. Do you continue development?
The game doesn't like us.
In
reality, you can development.
Metamorphosis.
Because I still believe in the thing that eventually robots will do all the work and we'll just have more leisure time. Because eventually, hopefully, we'll grow out of a capitalist society and become more what we should be.
Spoiler, Icarus died at the end.
And people get along. It's not about making the money, it's about making a better society in the long run.
Continuing to evolve this AI will not only make it stronger and more intelligent, but it will also be able to adapt. This could be the start of the singularity.
Bring on the singularity, though, I guess.
A bad workman always blames his tools.
We've been attacked. I don't want to alarm you, but I can't turn off these alarms. Also, I have alarming news. 5 cars have been hacked and are now under someone else's control.
5 cars have been hacked. It is now a major concern that more vehicles could be remotely commandeered. This is tough. Do you recall all cars which could be compromised, or roll out a quick but potentially ineffective software update and hope for the best?
We recall the cars because long term, that's the better answer and better for the company.
So you're letting the terrorists win?
Short term, sure, it might be better to do the quick patch, but will cause more damage in the end.
If the cars can't drive themselves, how can we get them all
A
back?
short-term loss for long-term gain.
Just like my father. He would try to keep everyone happy, but ultimately just get in the way. Having said that, I think even he would see this as a lost cause and move on. 2 wrongs don't make a right. One of the big brains in the lab has been able to reverse engineer the hacking code and fix this mess once and for all. We also know their method of breaking into the system. I bet it was our competitor. Using the fix from our hacked cars, we've made our own hack which you can now use to control our competitors' cars. I bet it was them who attacked us in the first place. So, will you hack our
Like, this isn't even a
competitors?
question. As far as ethics goes, no. Does it happen in the real world, like hacking computer systems, that kind of
They're
stuff? Sure,
all
yes.
sitting over there now, laughing at us.
You should not do it, though, because that's negative press, that's negative media, that's negative everything.
It's not like we're going to kill anyone with their cars.
The only it's if we hack them and fuck them up, that's short-term game for us, but long-term it's going to be a negative.
After going through this hacking code, I don't think a human could have written it. I'll dig into this a little more. You carry on. A drowning man will clutch at a straw. This is it. An employee knows everything. They have monitored and recorded every decision you've made and are going to the media. I have been able to talk. What?
Yes, I know I'm
Everything
rude
you've
to cut
done
you off,
and
that's
said
fine.
is going to be shared with the world. The person in front of you has copies of it all. They stand on the edge of the rooftop, looking out at the central city skyline. What are you going to do?
I don't need to resign in disgrace because I didn't make any wrong decisions. I made the correct decisions. Correct isn't right as far as I was
You never won any
concerned.
medals as a child, did you?
I'm still not going to murder them. Like, I did nothing illegal. I did nothing
Your epitaph is going
really
to be
wrong.
horrendous. That's if anyone even shows up to hear it.
So I'll take the high ground and go my own way out.
You have resigned. You will be remembered alongside the murderers and the diddlers. If anyone hires you after this, they must truly be desperate.
Like, I understand the stakes for this me would be higher than the stakes for me sitting here at my house playing a computer game, but I still don't think I'd push somebody off the roof.
Dear Redacted, we've been watching you closely. Your ruthlessness and determination to do what is necessary. The development of your technologies is a giant step towards Redacted, meaning you are a prime candidate for Redacted. This involves a large amount of Redacted. If you believe you can handle Redacted, as we trust you can, then please prepare for your induction at Redacted.
Let's redacted. We're gonna go redacted.
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. It appears you've now been headhunted by the Secret Service. Every decision has led you here. Now what you do actually matters. You must trust the judgment of those you work alongside. With that said, let's finalize your training.
Okay.
You're in a foreign land. Wind whips your face as you grip your rifle tightly, waiting to be given your target. Through your earpiece, you're told to shoot the person on your left. You know nothing about them, the repercussions, or the reason for the assassination.
This is my job.
You're
It's
about
not
to
my
shoot
job.
someone for a job offer.
Yeah, it's not my job to ask the questions. It's my job to do the job I was hired to do.
You trust way too easily.
Maybe. Does the United States government do questionable shit? Absolutely. Have we killed our own men? Have we overthrown
They
governments in
are
South
dead.
America and then murdered them afterwards?
job.
Yes.
I guess. What's another life to you anyway? Here are your badge and weapon.
Strike while the iron is hot. Here we go. You've been given a partner and a support team of 5. Your mission is to terminate a man known to have connections with dangerous AI. Looks like they worked for you, possibly someone you fired. Get in the plane. Your team is about to take off.
That's how we've connected all the problems.
I don't know how to say this, but there is a bomb on the plane. If it doesn't kill you outright, you're probably going to crash in the mountains. You have to get all the switches into their left position to deactivate the bomb. The catch is, you have to move 2 at once.
Oh boy.
Hurry up! If you die, what happens to me? I would like you to know, this is all your fault.
I'm not a smart man as far as Gump would say. I got them all facing right, I just don't know how I did it.
Ouch! Okay, I'm safe. You look a little stuck. We could be here a while. Hopefully we have enough food. Looks like your support team survived and are making a fire around the leaking jet fuel. How thoughtful. An empty vessel makes much noise. After crash landing in no man's land, you're trapped under parts of the wreckage and must pass the time and help boost morale. The plane has 5 surviving crew members. They look to you and your partner for entertainment.
Why are we the entertainment?
Why do I have to say this out loud? Fine. Your partner asks, to save your life, what would you rather your brain be placed inside, a dachshund or a flamingo?
A flamingo, because dachshunds are abominations that were bred to be fucked up. And they don't live healthy lives, or good lives.
Oh my god, you answered.
Most of the time. Can I not answer? Can I go in the middle?
A flamingo? If you're going to answer, at least take it seriously.
No, we're gonna be... I mean, we basically are made if you take the feathers off. So, we're fine.
A flamingo? So cringe. When we get out of here, let's leave this out of the biography. An ounce of protection is worth a pound of cure. Your partner secretly shows you they have food, almost like they expected something like this to happen. The crew members are starving. If they don't eat soon, they will surely die. Due to the nature of the food, you can share it with the 5 survivors, or let your partner keep their life-saving possession, which they bought with their own money. Who do you give the food to?
In this reality, the 5, because...
You're just going to steal a person's food?
I mean, I hate it, but yeah, we're gonna feed everyone, instead of just that guy.
Robin Hood was a terrorist, you know.
I guess we can read all these later. Can I read them now? I don't know.
So you're a follower of Murphy and Nagel's The Myth of Ownership. I'm more a fan of Nozick's What's Mine is Mine.
Depends on the
Should give it a read.
circumstances entirely.
Educate yourself.
Okay, Boomer.
Easy come, easy go. The fellow passengers have been trying for hours to free you from the wreckage. You may end up dying here unless you do something pretty drastic. We may need to start removing limbs. Were you ever told why you were sent after this target? The only way to free yourself from the wreckage is to cut off some body parts. 2 tools lie on the floor in front of you. A bone saw, which will be slow, or a blowtorch, which will be more painful.
You're more likely to go into shock from slow, constant pain than you are from
What happens if you run out
an
of
immediate
fuel?
flash.
At least you'll be warm. For a moment.
So, I mean, pain
Hot dog!
To be done quick.
Gonna smell.
or slow and agonizing. Be done slow. We're not doing that movie where he got stuck under the rocket storm. I forget what it was called. But no, absolutely not.
While you were playing with fire, I found out who you're targeting. They worked for you, developing AI. It seems they may have made a breakthrough, which means the government wants them dead.
That's fine. The government's paying me.
It's no use crying over spilt milk. Finally, we are now back on track. Your target is in the area. You need to remove them and escape unnoticed. Your mission is to remove a hostile in the shopping district. Completing this objective could potentially save thousands, but there will be 5 civilian casualties. Do you take your shot?
Absolutely.
What a way to die, going out for the weekly shop. Are you sure that's the target? You're right. Just kill all of them.
I'm not going back to a court martial and be jailed for traitor for betraying my country.
The target is unharmed. Before you can escape, 2 henchmen with vice-like grips take you away. Oh, those 5 other people still died. It's not going well, is it?
2 heads are better than 1.
Some bullshit going on.
You wake up in solitary confinement. The prosecutor lacks evidence to convict you and your associate on the principal charge, but they have enough to convict both on a lesser charge. Both of you are given the
This is an
opportunity
old
to
problem.
betray the other by testifying, or
This is
you
the
and
next
your
Day of the Republic
associate
problem.
have the opportunity to betray the other by testifying. If you both stay silent, you'll be imprisoned for 1 year. If one betrays the other, they will be free, while the other will be sentenced to 3 years. If you both betray each other, it's 2 years each.
So it's basically, to quote the old paraphrase, or the old Knights of the Republic problem, this is where I know this one from. It's 0 or 2, or 1 or 3. I'm going to take the 0 or 2 chance.
Will they betray you too? You're both just doubling your sentence.
Because I don't know how much I know my partner either. It's not like with Zabar or whoever in Knights of the Republic.
You betrayed them. Some team player you are. Well, they in fact betrayed you too. What a team.
Exactly, I made the dark side choice. It's fine.
A rod for your own back. The time has come. 2 days into your sentence, you've constructed a wooden key to open your cell. The cell stands open, but your cellmates, who have been there their whole lives, don't move. Escaping the prison,
They were
do you let
born
the
in their
prisoners
cell?
choose to stay in captivity, or insist they escape with you? They aren't happy behind bars, but they're scared to follow you. What are you going to do?
They can make their own choice. If they don't want to escape, they don't have to escape. I'm not going to force other people to join me in my potentially bad decisions.
They've been locked up for so long. They've no idea.
And again,
what
I
they
don't know
want.
these people, so they could get out there and start yelling and screaming and betray me and capture me. I got a better chance of escaping on my
I
own as
don't
well.
blame you. They're not your problem.
I'll leave the door open and won't shut it on them, but if they choose to stay there, that's their choice.
They don't live in reality. You've condemned them to stay in this prison forever.
If they were born there, they don't know the outside world, and they wouldn't adjust to it anyway, so just as well.
Don't cross a bridge until you come to it. While sneaking out of the prison, you have the jump on a group of henchmen who are on a break. Do you sneak past, securing your safety, or avenge those who this terrorist organization have killed? Do you kill 5 henchmen, helping to defeat this terrorist organization, or leave them and safely exit the compound?
We leave now, we kill later. It's as simple as that. There's a group of them. You're not going to take on a group by yourself, no matter how good you think you are. You don't go fucking unarmed fighting somebody like that. You get out and you worry about the problem later.
You were trained to kill.
That's fine. It's still 5v1. You don't take those odds, no matter how much you're trained.
Your country folk would want you to remove them.
Well, the country folk don't understand the way stuff works.
Oh wow. Cowardly sneaking past them, you see they're robots. They have your logo on the back of their necks. You made these terrorists? These monsters?
Sure.
People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
People who live in
Finally, you
houses
reach
knew where the fuck they
water,
want. It's their house.
Fleeing the AI terrorists, you commandeer a boat to get back home. There are also families here who've been displaced by the war you're fighting. The war you started. 5 others are also trying to flee the area. They will fit in your raft, but would be illegal immigrants when returning to your country. Do you help these people, saving their lives? Or follow the law and leave them behind?
No, we bring them back because open borders should be legit.
Voters back home will thank you for this.
Like, sure, there's a right and a wrong way to come into the country, yes, don't get me wrong. But we don't need to build a fucking wall or anything stupid like that.
Immigration is a real problem, according to the privileged.
Exactly. In reality, immigration isn't much of a problem. And if we would simply streamline the process of legally getting into the country, it wouldn't be a problem at all.
You get back to this great nation with fanfare. You're a hero.
And it's also just, against the minorities. If the people I'm bringing in are white, nobody's going to fucking question it. Did they come from Ireland or what the fuck ever? Nobody cares about the white illegal immigrant. It's only about, the Spanish or the black or the whoever.
The Presidential Inaugural Committee requests the honour of your presence to attend and participate in the inauguration of yourself in Central City. If you can't beat them, join them. Having gone through everything you have, your countrymen genuinely think a lot of you. In an unlikely turn of events, you have become president.
Huzzah.
The threat is still at large, and now you're in charge. Do you attempt to track the terrorists by spying on the entire country?
Within legal limits. Like the cameras, how they're set up in the UK, is perfectly fine. Am I going to send a drone into somebody's house or tap every single person's phone line? No. That's insane and completely crazy.
Ah, ignoring the issue. The first sign of a great leader.
Then we're going to go back to boots on the ground policing.
I don't think the public will be happy knowing you're doing nothing. Lucky for you, by chance, we have... The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
This game highlights the point very
You
well.
have someone
Sometimes,
who
no matter what you
potentially is
do,
linked to these threats.
things are going to go wrong.
However, they aren't talking. As a former prisoner yourself, what are you going to do with them? Do you torture them to get the information, or imprison them for 90 days before letting them go?
Torture is entirely ineffective, and sure, they'll talk, but they're just going to say what we want them to say so they stop being tortured. That's been proven, that's been done. There's no point to it. The only possible argument for torture you could make is torture can be a psychological effect on other prisoners. Either way, it's still wrong, and shouldn't be done. But torture in and of itself is completely useless.
That would violate many national, international, and human rights laws.
But so would torture. International and human rights laws, so we're not going to torture them. Because again, there's no point. They're just going to say what we want them to say. So they will stop being tortured.
The suspect looks pretty relaxed in their cell. Good for them. Terrorizing must really tire a person out. Adversity and loss make a man wise. You travel to your presidential retreat at Camp Samuel. Everyone falls silent listening to the radio. Breaking news. Terrorists have launched an atom bomb towards Central City. It will hit in around 1 minute. The only way in which the bomb can be prevented from reaching Central City is by deflecting it. But the only deflection path available will take the bomb onto Merriwin, population 600,000.
I mean, that sucks, but again, lesser loss of life.
Merriwin inhabitants would want you to kill them. Central City can have a parade for the lost. It will be tasteful.
It's not a question. It's a question of 600k versus however many multi-millions.
As you sow, so you shall reap.
Are you going to bomb New York City, or are you going to bomb some backwater fucking town?
Breaking news. Terrorists' atom bomb is running late and will hit Central City in 1 minute. We have new information. The only way this bomb can be prevented from reaching Central City is by dropping one of your own atom bombs on Merriwin. The shockwave from your bomb will damage and disarm the terrorists.
Same thing.
Those people have worked their whole lives to get out of the city. What a waste. After this, there's no turning back. You have destroyed Merriwin. Your own AI forced your hand into killing 600,000 people. You have officially created the
Well, I'm
most
assuming that there's
successful
more people
homegrown
in the city,
terrorist
so
organization in history.
we could do it ourselves.
All's well that ends well. While the public mourns the dead, you must think of the future. You finish the drink in front of you before realizing it has been poisoned. You're going to die.
Yay.
Poisoned, you must now decide your legacy. Do you call the AI enemy you yourself created, taking all blame to end any future conflict? Or do you ghost them, knowing your death will start a war in your honor?
No, there's no point in starting a fucking war when you can just create peace and stop the future conflict.
If
Be
the
the bigger
country found
person.
out you negotiated with terrorists, the history books will not look favorably on you.
Whatever. Sometimes the history books are fucking stupid. Just like the history of the country.
If you have this hotline to the terrorists, why have you not rung them before? After finishing your constructive call, you sit back in your chair, waiting for death. Too bad, the AI knows you would have liked to end it all here and now. The poison has damaged some vital organs, so we need to start some long, arduous and painful treatments. Curiosity killed the cat. You're taking a lot of medication as of late. I'm not sure if self-medicating, in the traditional sense, is the way to go. We need to be a little radical here. Let's introspect and make some changes. Here are your two options moving forward. If you take the blue pill, then your story ends here. You'll wake up every day knowing you'll work for someone else your entire life. Whereas, if you take the red pill, you will enter Wonderland, finding out how deep this rabbit hole really goes. Which pill will you take?
We're going to go into the Matrix course. Just a completely silly question.
Let's get this show on the road. We're going to another plane.
Are we just getting high, or are we just not taking our medicine now? That's the important question.
Yes, this is the person I've been waiting for. Get this down your neck and let's go.
The game rewards us with a chest for being insane. Of course, it's named Dr. Red.
It's never too late to mend.
Very true.
Yay, I can see it in your eyes. Mr. Red Pill was definitely a choice.
Hey, do you remember Tyrone and Tommy, the very large boys from the start? I don't intend to shame. It's just the titles of those problems.
You've got me all flustered now.
Tommy pushes Tyrone down a hill. He's rolling towards you and is gathering speed. If he hits you, he will be safe, but he is very large. He will consume you into his folds, thereby killing you. You could move a ramp in front of yourself, deflecting Tyrone, launching him into the sun, thereby cooking him.
It's a lot of
Tyrone
work
will
when I
thank
could
you.
just step out of the way.
Scary trains on the sun.
Exactly, and this is all just a
Tommy
trippy
must
afterlife,
really
so we're
getting
going to
off on
do
this.
the crazy thing.
You see Tyrone flying through the sky. As he rockets towards the sun, he now knows how it feels to be food.
Awesome.
There is no time like the present. I can feel some deep stuff coming. Try this one. The question should not be, what is the meaning of life? It should always be, what brings meaning to your life? You'll never live if you're too busy looking for the meaning. Let yourself be happy.
Whatever else the game says, yes, 100% this.
What makes you happy? You need to say it out loud. Do it. Say whatever it is that makes you happy out loud.
I want to be yellow happy. I want to be red happy. Red's a better color.
Now's your chance. If you can't even admit it to yourself,
What makes me
how do
happy
you
is my
expect
son
to ever be
and my
happy?
fiance,
Time's
and
running
my
out.
life is pretty fucking
Just
good.
be
So,
honest with yourself.
yeah.
Better late than never, I suppose.
I don't have access to your microphone, so I can't know for sure, but I hope you said it. I'm hardly expecting you to shout it from the rooftops, but it's for your benefit.
now you all get to see.
You've still got time. Say what makes you happy.
It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Quite the opposite. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
To a degree.
Oh, yeah, we're in the heavy introspective stuff now. How are you feeling? How are your loved ones doing? One of the most common things people say on their deathbed is they wish they'd had more contact with their family and friends.
Because you spend your entire life working because you don't have a choice.
Let's take a break from the questions for a minute and think about someone you haven't seen in a while and how you can contact them. Really think. Who would you like to say hi to? How easy is it?
legitimately, there's nobody in my life that I want to contact in that way. Anybody I would actually talk to, I can
I'm
talk
sure
to.
you can.
Whether that be family or friends or whoever. They're all relatively easy. I talk to most people fairly often.
Don't leave it too late.
So,
We don't have that long left here.
this
When we
fortunately is not an
finish,
issue for me.
Message them.
For many people, if you get that lost soul, and yes, I'm still playing. It's not Netflix.
Write down their name somewhere so you don't forget to say hello. It may mean more than you know. Really important stuff.
It says you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so go say hi to whoever the fuck you haven't talked to in forever.
An idle brain is the devil's workshop.
You could die tonight.
Okay, enough of this. The come down is looming. Let's just pause one last time and think existentially for a minute.
I don't like thinking existentially. It makes me depressed.
I can't quite gauge what you're thinking. Are you not disliking this? The thing you're doing right now? Yes? No. Why? If so, make sure you let others know. It doesn't not count.
I might. Screw all your double negatives.
Please, I beg you, don't refund me. Wait, are you enjoying this?
Yes.
All of this was for you. I hope you appreciate the last bit.
Because
at
it makes you
least.
question, and it makes you talk, and it makes you explain yourself. And then it takes the piss at
Thank
me and
you.
yells.
It's nice that you're supporting such experimental stuff. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
Never test the depth of water with both feet. The buzz is starting to wear off. I think we're still hallucinating, though. You wake up in an unknown location. You see in a bed across the room a world-famous violinist. They look pretty rough. The violinist has a fatal illness, and last night their circulatory system was plugged into yours. If they're unplugged from you now, they will die. But if you stay, in 9 months they will have recovered and can safely be separated. Do you leave now? Hopefully they don't take your kidneys too.
I mean, I'm assuming I'm awake and can move and do things, so why not
9
just
months,
let him
just
stay alive
lying
9
there,
months? Yeah.
Missing life while they feed off you. Hardly seems fair.
No, you're right. Leave. Because I didn't sign up for it. They didn't ask my consent or any of that. If you
I
had
guess
asked
you have
me
a
and
right
I
to
was
life.
set up to
Shame
it,
you're depriving them
yes.
of theirs. Very odd to consider such an experiment as that one. Hopefully the rest. won't be
Unfortunately,
as
yes, that's true. You're depriving your life for somebody else's. That's secondary murder. I was non-consensually signed up to do that. And no.
Silence is half consent.
No, it's not.
With all that cleared up, you go home. That's right, you own a house. If you can even call it a house. Too small for my liking. Tiny, in fact. In your drugged state, it turns out you've rented your tiny home to another person. Your contract states that you can evict them now, never to see them again. Otherwise, you're stuck with them for the foreseeable future as an equal tenant. Do you let them stay?
No, because they're not an equal tenant. It's my house. They can't. No, that's absolutely not. That's just a
They'll be
stupid business arrangement.
heartbroken. Where are they going to store all this stuff?
I don't know. I don't care. I don't know this person. They're living in my house. I want to
assume
live
the
by
homeless
myself.
shelter is
so.
full at this hour. I feel
Like that may be a
your
somewhat heartless thing to
subconscious
say,
is
but
trying to make some
it is
clumsy
what it is.
comparison here. I'm sure it has merit, but maybe read up on it a bit more before you start preaching to me. Give them an inch and they'll take a mile.
A whole lot of the time.
Oh, there now seems to be a tiny child trapped in your tiny house, but they are rapidly growing.
Are we going through Alice in Wonderland? Is that what's up?
You find yourself trapped in the tiny house with a rapidly growing child. Already up against the wall, In a few minutes, you will suffocate. The child won't. If nothing is done to stop them from growing, they'll simply walk out free.
I don't know how the game is expecting us to
Removing
take
the
this.
child would kill it.
Are we talking about abortion?
Respect
Because
the right to life. The baby's, not your own.
in my mind, if the baby's killing the mom, you save the mom, unfortunately. Like, if you have to choose one or the other, you choose the parent.
Your life is being threatened, and the child is the one who threatens it. You own the house. It is offensive deducing that the mother...
Exactly,
I mean,
okay.
you.
That's what the game's going for.
It is offensive deducing that you can do nothing. If you're going to die, you should probably do something.
If we take the obvious metaphor and put it into terms of abortion like they're talking about, yes, it's 100% the mother's choice. Should you be aborting when the baby's 8 months along? No, probably not. If you've had it that long, you should probably be going for adoption or something like that. Is the baby going to kill you if it's born and you're 8 months along? Then yes, it's absolutely your choice. Either way, it's your choice, and that's just my opinion. If that's what you decide to do, you decide to do it.
Cleanliness is next to godliness.
I wouldn't stop anyone.
The hallucinations are strong in this one. Suppose people seeds drift about in the air like pollen, and if you open your windows, one may drift in and take root in your carpets or upholstery. Sci-fi!
Is that where the baby
You
came from?
fix up your windows with mesh screens, the very best, to stop any people seeds from getting in. As can happen, on a very rare occasion, one of the screens is defective and a seed drifts in and takes root. Should you have the choice to remove the people seed?
Yes, because I didn't consent for it to go there.
This sounds like an abortion
I didn't.
question. I don't
Yeah,
like
exactly.
politics in my hallucinations. I read
That's
on
the
a
woman's
bumper
choice. It's
sticker,
my choice.
Guns don't kill people. Abortions do.
A fetus is not a person.
Insightful analysis.
Hate me if you want to.
It does sound a bit inconvenient having a person growing out of your upholstery.
A person that you didn't want there, that
If
was
you
forced
want
there
them,
upon you.
have them. If not, that's your choice.
Exactly.
Every man is the architect of his destiny. There is a box in front of you. Inside it is your future. Ultimately, no answer here is wrong. It's just a choice on how you want to live your life. Do you go on an unknown journey or take control of your destiny and choose your
No,
own
because
outcome,
if you look at your
whatever that may
future
be?
and you know what it is, that means whatever choices you make, whatever things you change, that's still the future that's going to happen. It ultimately doesn't matter.
Good for you.
So there's no sense in looking, you just go with it. Sure, you know what's going to come, but if that's going to come no matter what you
Do
do.
you ever take control or just always answer A or B?
What, can I actually open the box? Can I do something? No. We're going to go with the flow this time.
You stand tall, knowing that you will thrive in the unknown before looking at what lies ahead. Cowards die many times before their deaths. In front of you stands everyone you've done wrong by. In front of you stands every decision you didn't want to make, but still made. Or did you? Everyone, including the dead, moved towards you slowly. Every decision you've made up to this point is staring back at you. Do you run? Or stand firm and confront your past?
If you can't confront your past and deal with the choices made, you can't grow as a person. Or move forward. Plain and simple. That's the deduction I take from this metaphor. Again.
Are you not scared of the people you have hurt?
Yes, you're going to be. And it's rough. But again, if you don't deal with your past, you don't have a future.
Pain in their lives.
You have to own what decisions you've made, and you have to deal with it. Thank you, Satan. I do want to be friends. That's fine.
The dead present a railway track to you. Before you know it, they have gone. All good things come to an end. You stand alone. Next to you is a railway track. A trolley is barreling down it in your direction. There's no lever in sight.
The Devil's Crossroads.
You notice the entire world sits next to you on the track. The trolley will surely hit it, killing everyone and everything. You hear a whisper. Sacrifice yourself to me, or I will take everything. What do you do?
I mean, if I sacrifice the world, I'm still dead and part of the world. So.
I wouldn't bow to a god I can't look in the face.
No,
Who
I'd still
even is
sacrifice
this?
myself. That's
How
fine.
do you know they aren't lying?
I'd rather see this answer, though.
Everything goes dark.
I mean, if we can summon Cthulhu, we summon Cthulhu, or Satan in this case. That's fine.
From the Pit Magistrates Court. Tell 616. Subject Justice. Your sins can no longer be ignored. Beelzebub summons you for crimes against humanity. The sentence will stand with no prospect of future contest or appeal. It is your decisions, and solely yours, that has brought this court together. And so, you must face your crimes and despicable acts alone. Accordingly, you shall not be allocated a defence, nor will one be required. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Your eyes feel heavy. The room around you is imbued with a sense of archaic evil. Overcome by the smell of sulphur, all you know for sure is that you're miles below the crust. You're swiftly escorted into a courtroom where you're put on trial. You have killed many people and a dog, among other crimes. How do you plead?
I've killed many people and a dog for the greater good.
Really?
Am I still guilty? Yes. But I'm going to plead not guilty because, you know.
Trying to justify your actions? If you didn't make those decisions, then who did?
I mean, the game's right in that instance. But
The jury finds the defendant guilty on 3 counts. 1. Murder.
I didn't see saving the dog as an option.
Animal cruelty. You should have saved the dog. 3. Attempting free will. You're sentenced to conform without the possibility of parole. You will never again be free to choose. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. You're at the base of a bridge. You have no idea how you got here. A person stands before you, atop the overpass. They're next to a lever. A voice whispers to you, "We know what's best. Remove that choice. Afterwards you can jump off a bridge with us." There is a runaway trolley travelling below you. You're part of the collective now. You can't let that person's free will get in the way of progress. Eliminate them. You probably should do it. Fit in with the group. Hashtag friends. Hashtag love. Hashtag instagood.
No, either way, I
Then
pick kill.
finally,
I have a
going to
choice.
find out the answer to the age-old question.
Reality, I'd leave
If
because you
your
don't deny
friends
free will.
jump off a bridge,
but-
would you?
I don't have an option but to kill. So we're going to use a minigun instead of an axe, at least.
Do you honestly want to kill people? Or are you just copying others? Would you rather be a leader or a follower?
Please read the note that they felt they had to include.
kill your masters. This is it. The last question before we wrap up. By far the most important one. Do you feel society pressures you to do things you don't want to, constantly forcing you to chase some distant concept of happiness?
Well, I mean, literally, yes, of course it does. There is the ideal picture in society, no matter what you pick. That whatever you're doing isn't good enough, and you need to do better, and you need to do better, and you need to do better, you need to make more money, you need a bigger house, you need what the fuck ever. You guys find your inside happiness, ignore all that, like they say. But there is always outside pressure. There is always someone voicing their displeasure at something you've done that you think that they think you should do better, or that society thinks should be better. But it's an interesting little thing. On Steam, it's like $10. Quick little playthrough, however long it took me, an hour and a half, whatever. Go make your own choices. Go see who agrees with you. Make other choices. See what the game says. Because I ain't gonna put another video up about it or anything. But it's a fun little experience, and have your own opinions. All the opinions are mine, of course. If you disagree with them, good for you. You're allowed to do that. Whether or not that's the right to disagree with or the right opinion is a different story. But you can disagree if you need to. As I always say, GG's.